all the animals inside. A whole year continue doing lots of actions of kindness. Can you imagine be with all these animals in a closed place? Think about the smell. Think about the noise. Think about the hard work that he has to do. He doesn't know what to do, what exactly this eat, what exactly that eat. They said that all this time that they were in the teva for the whole year, they didn't sleep.
Wow.
They couldn't sleep because every animal, we're talking about a lot of animals. Everyone has his different schedule, everyone has different needs, everyone has different things. And Noach and his sons, this is how they testified to Eliezer, the servant of Abraham. They say it was very hard. It was very hard. It said that as Noach left the teva, it said that he was groaning, full of blood, full of this. It's like a half-dead person from the effort that he put to care for all these needs of the animals. So being crowded in such a place, all the noise, all the smell, everything, and this is when Abraham learned that if the world was corrupted so much, everybody were stealing and doing and don't care about the other, what I have to do is to learn from Noach. Noach was doing a lot of chesed. This is now how we should build the world that will be, the foundation should be chesed. This is why he opened his house to, I don't know, thousands of people that will come and eat from his food and get spiritually energized from him and keep constantly giving. Noah gave to animals, he gave to people. Okay, this is what Abraham learned from Noah. Not only this, I want to tell you something about chesed. It says olam chesed yibaneh, right? This King David says in Tehillim Pekeh. And so, yes, the world has no existence if there's no chesed in there. It says that once there was this epidemic in Jerba. Jerba is in Tunisia, North Africa. And when such a disease spread out, disease or epidemic, a plague, right, spread up so much over there, people were afraid, so they were trying to isolate themselves, not to get infected from the other people. They would come out just for a little while to buy something, come back home. We're afraid, to be outside, to be exposed to who knows, what's outside. And food became obviously very expensive, and people couldn't go to work. What should they do? There was a rabbi there, a man that had also Torah, they said, also Gdula. He was rich and he was a man of Torah, by the name Rabbi Yehudani Kohen. And Rabbi Yehudani Kohen started thinking. He said, well, the people that have businesses, probably they save for this rainy days. It's not, so probably they have some savings. But what about the Bnei Torah? They don't have business, they hardly have money, and they probably couldn't save for these days that they cannot. What about them? He decides that he filled up a jar with with gold coins, and he goes to a friend of his, another rabbi, and he tells him, Rav Matu, I believe, he tells him, Rabbi, the plague is so strong over here, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I decided that I want to entrust my savings in your hands for a while. If you need the money, take it. If you need even everything of it, take it. Once you're going to have, give it back to me. But meanwhile, please take it, because I don't know what's going to be tomorrow. Maybe I'll get sick. At least I know that I keep it by your hands and it will be safe right there. The rabbi was so happy. It really helped him. All this time that they were in isolation, couldn't go out, weeks and weeks and weeks until the people started to, they were not infected anymore. So he was able to provide to his family with this money. So after the isolation finished, people are starting to come out. The rabbis meet in this yeshiva or kollel or something. So how did you get managed? And he asks him, and how did you get managed? And they ask another one, and all these guys that they were sitting and learning, they say, you know, something very good happened to me. This Rabbi Udani came to me, and he gave me money. It really saved me. He says, he came also to me? And the one will say, he also came to me? Basically, he gave out to all the Bnei Torah their money so that they were able to survive, this time. This is Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Listen, when you do Chesed, it's also good for you. There was this farmer that had a donkey and had a horse. So the donkey was to carry heavy loads, and the horse was for riding. So once the donkey asks the horse, please, can you take some of my loads? It's so heavy. The horse was so proud, was so arrogant. He says, no, I'm for riding, I'm not for this. And then after a few hours, this donkey just fell. He couldn't continue anymore and he died. What happens now? So the farmer gets off the horse, put loads, all these things on top of this horse, and on top of this, the donkey, because it's a shame just to leave it over here. He needs it, he'll make a use out of it. And this is how this horse came back to his home. So when he himself suffered by the fact that he was refusing to make a kindness, to make a chesed, right? So when we help, many times we help ourselves. So now I want to say something interesting. It says, "V'Noach matza chen b'nei Hashem." Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem. What is this finding favor? It says that the person has the merit to be close to Hashem, and Hashem saves him even though he doesn't deserve it. This is metziat chen. Where else you remember that somebody matza chen b'nei Hashem? I'll come to it in a second. It says in the Midrash that metziat chen means that Hashem loves him. That's what it says in the Midrash. So, it says in Mishlei, Ul'anavim yiten chen. What is this chen that we mentioned? Who gets chen? Special love that Hashem loves him? Anavim, humble people. Noach, we know, was very, very humble. How do we know that Noach was very humble? In another place it says, Ayelet ahavim ve'yalat chen, means Hashem also loves humble people. And both there's two ways to find favor in front of Hashem, and both of them help to save the person, the human being, from a time of danger. So Hashem loves people that are humble, don't think too high about themselves, and even though they don't deserve to be saved, Hashem saves them. Okay, takes care of them. It says, Noach ish tzaddik tamim. Okay? Amru Chazal, he was tamim, he was perfect in his ways, and tzaddik, righteous in his deeds. Rashi says like that. It says that Hashem gave an order to Noach that from all the kosher animals he has to bring 7. How would Noach, what is kosher? In the time of Noach, did they have kosher? Kosher became later to the Jewish people. There was no thing like kosher by that time. This is where they learned, that Noach learned Torah. And Noach knew what's going to be later on allowed, not allowed, and stuff like that. So Noach knew Torah. Not only this. They say, it says in Pirkei Avot, Im en Torah, en derech eretz. Im en derech eretz, en Torah. If somebody doesn't have Torah, he cannot get to this to be perfect in qualities, because the Torah is the one that teaches us how to be perfect in our qualities. From the other side, im en derech eretz and Torah. If you are not perfect in, if the Torah will come only upon somebody that learns Torah. If he thinks that he knows, if he thinks that he's proud, it doesn't go. So we know that Noach was also full of derech eretz. How do we know it? It says Hashem ordered Noach to come into the teva. Only after he got an order from Hashem to get into the teva, he came in. And now, after the flood finished, okay, he sends the dove and he sends the raven, and he said they still wait in the teva. Hello, it's not pleasant to wait over there. You can get and you know, the first minute he would just kick out the door and run away from there, and no, he waits for Hashem to give him the order to leave. That's called derech eretz. Okay, and this is something that Noach had. Same thing was with Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah in the time of king in Babylon. He threw them into this fire because they didn't want to worship Avodah Zarah. And they see that there's no fire, so leave, go out. No, we got an order from the king to go in. We have to get an order from the king to get out. How do we know it? We learn from Noach. The same way Noach was doing it, we have to do the same. And this is called, they say, derech eretz. Now, with all what we know about Noach, we know also that they do criticize Noach. As much as I was trying to say positive things about him, they do criticize him. It says when Hashem told Noach about the flood, he knew that he and his sons, his family will be saved. But he didn't pray for his generation. Why he didn't pray for his generation? So, it says in Chazal that when Paro wanted to get rid of the Jewish people, there were 3 advisors over there. Okay? Bil'am gave to kill, to be harsh on them. Iyov kept quiet, and Yitro ran away. So, Bil'am that gave this advice got punished. What was his punishment?
All of his children.
He was killed by Pinchas. Pinchas came and he killed him in the battle. Iyov that kept quiet, what was his punishment? He got a lot of sufferings, yisurim. And Yitro that ran away, it says that Mibnei Banav shel Yitro, his offsprings, they were judges in Lishkat HaKazit, in the Holy Temple. So this is the reward that Yitro got for running away and not being part of it.
But he did mention, he did speak though. Yitro, yeah.
What did he say?
Didn't he spoke? Didn't he say something against? I don't remember.
Against the Jews?
No, he
doesn't
said.
take them.
Yeah, he said.
You don't touch this nation. The fire doesn't take them because Abraham was thrown inside the fire.
Okay.
Right, he said something.
Right.
That's why he ran away, because he
Iyov
knew
was
that he's gonna.
Iyov was quiet and
Right.
Yitro ran away. I don't
Right.
remember what exactly Yitro
Yeah,
said.
but I do remember. Yeah, he said something. That's why he ran away, because he knew that way.
Okay, so Harabi Mibrisk explains that Iyov thought, why did he keep quiet? He thought, if I'm going to protest, it's not going to help. So better not to say anything. He was afraid. And we know that when somebody lo alenu gets yisurim, he suffers, he usually cries. He screams. Does it help, the screaming? No. But he has to. He has no other way. He screams. Because when it hurts you something, you cry. When you don't cry, obviously it means that it doesn't bother you so much. That was the problem of Iyov. This is why he got this yisurim, they say. So when somebody, it hurts him something, usually he's the one that screams. It says that the flood is called after Noach. It's called May Noach. And it's a criticism for Noach. Why didn't you pray for your generation? May Noach, it says in Yeshayahu, if you would pray for your generation, Noach knew that it wouldn't help. But at least he had to pray. Okay? There is a lot of parallel between, I said before, who else we find in the Torah, the Matzah Chen, speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu. Remember we said that Noach was humble? Also Moshe was humble. The first time we hear about Moshe was not in Sefer Shmot. They ask in the Gemara, Masechet Chulin, Moshe min HaTorah minayin, how do we see Moshe from the Torah? It says in Chumash Bereshit, Sefer Bereshit, in Parashat Bereshit, we just read it last week, Beshagam hu basar. Okay? Why did I create these people? They were already corrupted, it says in the last Parashat Bereshit. They were so corrupted, and it's because Beshagam hu basar, they are from flesh, they are materialistic, and the right continuation of this pasuk says, V'hayu yamav 120 shana. From now on, his life, the amount that he lived will be 120 years. People still lived many years afterwards. We know that Abraham lived and Yitzchak lived 180 years, and they didn't really die. Who died in 120 years? Moshe Rabbeinu. Minayin, Moshe min HaTorah minayin? Here in Parashat Bereshit. Why? Didn't his name says so many times in the Torah? How come you ask? It says on the Torah, on the parchment, so many times Moshe. Why do you ask Moshe min HaTorah minayin b'shegam u'basar? So it says Moshe lived 120 years, and parallel to this, Noach built his teva, his ark, for 120 years. How many days was the Mabul, the actual Mabul, on? 40 days. 40 days was Moshe in heaven to accept the Torah. The Torah. There's only two occasions that we know that Moshe was in the teva, in the ark, and Noach built the teva, was in the ark, right? And there's a lot of other things, how the Moshe's teva was and how I don't want to get into there, I just want to get to one more thing. It says, V'Noach matza chen b'nei Hashem, Noach found favor, and it says about Moshe, Ki matzata chen b'enai. Hashem saw Moshe that he was very, very special. They say that Moshe came begilgul after Noach. Noach didn't cry on his generation. Well, what do we know about Moshe? Moshe says, oh Hashem, Jewish people, they made a sin after the golden calf. Mecheni na misifracha. Wipe, take away my name from your book. Just leave the Jewish people. He cried. He prayed so many times so that Hashem will forgive them. You know what's the word mecheni? What letters we have? Mecheni letters May Noach. This is the criticism that we have in Noach. Noach didn't pray on his generations, comes later on Moshe and does pray for the generation, and this is how Hashem forgives. May Noach. May Noach, Mecheni, it's also Ani Minoach. Moshe says that I am from Noach, and this is how Moshe was able to fix Noach mistake. So we live in, as we said, in a generation that is very confusing, and in a way it's like a flood outside there. What do we have to do? To build our own ark, to be connected to rabbis, to go to shiur Torah, because that's the only way that will teach us how to protect our family, our husbands, our children, ourselves from all this bad influence, from the peer pressure that we have out there. And B'ezrat Hashem, not only protect yourself, but to pray for all the others out there. That this is also very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbanit.
Beautiful.
Yeah.